Boom. See, the sun is out. How good's that? Awesome. I am so pumped. Get a little bit of, vitamin D. That's got to be healthy for us, right? Vitamin D. I'll push that blind back so it doesn't give me the shadow. Going to be able to see all that. Well, Scott Davidson's here. You're number one. Doug Slobodnik's here. He's still got credit on his mentors program, although we're going to probably slow that app down. We're going to cut expenses, I think. But that'll be it. But so probably going to turn it off and then turn it back on when all this is over. Hey, Chris is here. Good to see you. Peter Thomas is here. Woo! Look, that sun's so bright, it's making me shine. Hang on. Touch the screen. There you are. Look at that. Magic. Woo! So, all right, how are you guys? How's everything going? Well, did you notice? Good to see you too, Joe. Eric Gillian's here from Down Under. Everybody's in lockdown, right? So it's just kind of like, well, I thought 8 a.m. every morning. I got nothing to do because I'm in my quarantine isolation hotel locked up with... I got my cup of coffee, thanks to Phoebe and Ollie. Brought me coffee. That was pretty good. So I thought, well, I should 8 o'clock every morning. I'll give you a little bit of a cheer up. Talk about how we're going to... I noticed people like Eric and Don Risinger, who are in their 60s, are talking about, reassessing everything, right, about life. And we're also having a look at that. We're thinking, okay, well, what can we do with Reach It? Do we, if we've got a 3 to 6 month window here, do we just take this and turn it around and turn it into something else during that time? I am going to show you Reach It Radial weapon today. That's what I'm going to talk about. Right, this little baby here. Yeah, this is the prototype. I took it to Thailand with me 7 weeks ago, but it's in production now. The molds are in production, so it's not too far away. And if you want to pre-order, you got to let me know if pre-ordering is okay at this time. But I can promise you, we do have the parts, and we have the money to pay for the parts, so that's good. So that would help us, get us all excited inside the company. The mask packs, like care packs, are arriving today. Did you see that? That's exciting. Like, guys ordered them on Friday, American time, arriving Monday, right? Full packs. So that's pretty, that kind of says we're on the ball, right? So we basically started that project Thursday morning, our time. Like, we've been thinking about it for a long time, but we thought, no, it's not right. Anyway, I said, look, we got no sales, right? I got a wages bill over $50,000 US a month, and I got no sales. So we have to do something, like at least, well, help people and just keep the whole thing working along. You off to work, Pete? Oh, you essential service, you. Go get them. So, yeah, well, you already know about this little baby here, right? Woohoo! Right, this is the prototype, but you can see the stay on the glass, yeah? We're so far ahead of everybody else, I mean, who can... You watch them like I don't know, the Mary Scott, I think it is, or something like that. Eric might know the poem. Rudyard Kipling. The Mary Gloucester is the poem, and he says, I keep them. Let me see if I can find it. So my computer didn't die last night. So anyway, so we're going to talk a bit of window cleaning. I've actually got a window here. I actually have got squeegees. I've got the Reach It rubber here, the prototype for that, which we're not going to show you. We're still waiting for the patent to go through on that. Let's put the password in there. And, yeah. Yeah, and we've got the new website is up. We've got the care pack. So now we've got the care pack, which is like 50 civilian masks, like general masks, which will just basically stop you touching your face. And they've got protection from breathing in and out. Then we've got the 100... medical masks, which are the ones that are treated with the antibacterial antiviral treatment. And we've got 100 KN95, which is the Chinese standard for N95 and the Chinese standard for P2, which is the European standard. Right, so we've got those in stock. And then today we're working on a kids pack for kids masks, because you want to stop the kids from touching their face. And we're going to get some goggles, and we're chasing some coveralls. Coveralls are impossible to find. Impossible. So... they're in desperately short supply. P3 masks, which are the N100s, I mean, they're also horribly hard to find. But thanks, James. Good. I mean, we make $20, but it keeps the factory moving. It keeps everybody excited. Because we actually had a meeting with our team and said, look, we'll go 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off because we don't have any work. Like the problem, we can make stuff, but we've got nowhere to put it. So I just thought, and then we've got to kind of buy bits and pieces to make stuff that we can't sell. And so all that just-in-time stuff all falls out of whack. So, it's all, and then we're going to we sent a whole lot of stuff to Jason, but then Jason's warehouse is going to be full. So we'll do a clearance out of Jason's warehouse sometime soon. Like we'll get this masks things rolling through, because the more people understand, a lot of people got told not to wear masks, or you shouldn't wear masks because you feel guilty if you wear a mask. Don Whidding got his today. If you and just reframe for me the definition, not here, Don, but just in the private message, what you meant by that. Peter House goes here from Homebush Bay. The old sperm suits, so they're hard to get hold of, right? I mean, there's a global demand for them because everybody's realized, oh my god, like you have to wear a mask. Well, the guys ordered James on Friday and they arrived today, Monday. Yeah, so three days. If we send in the small, Chisholm, I just left a message on your voicemail. If we send them in small packs, like DHL have said to us, nothing bigger than 50 kilos. If you keep everything under 50 kilos, so even we were working on a deal with somebody which was like 91 50 kilo packages, right? It kind of fell through this morning, but that's all right. Hatch is a good dude. Yeah, he's solid. Matt Pierce, good to see you, buddy. Wow, amazing. Yeah, so Matt, have a look at our website, futureofcleaning.com. We've got these care packs, and you can send them directly to people. And so if you've got like family members who are first responders or whatever, but the thing is that because there was a shortage of masks, everybody got told don't wear a mask, and you should feel guilty if you wear a mask because you're a weirdo because you must be infected or something. That's not the case. 100% everybody should be wearing a mask or something. Stop yourself from touching your face. The majority of the infection is not being scared of people because of social distancing. The majority of the problem is we're touching a surface where the virus is, and we're touching our face or scratching our eye. That's why I say get some sunglasses. If you don't wear glasses, you wear glasses, I think some, but don't wear contacts. Put glass frames on, pop the lenses out of some sunglasses and put them there. So if you go to touch your eye, you go, oh, that's right, I'm not meant to touch my eye. Get your hand sanitizer. If you have to touch your face, get your hand sanitizer. Follow the rules of how to wash your hands properly. Get your thumb, get your wrist. Do all that, and then you can touch your face, right? In theory. I don't know if you've already got something on your face, but well, you've still got $125 mentor credit, Doug. I sent that to you. You only spent $270, I think, $250 of your $374 mentor credit. Sure, yo. We can send them to New Zealand. Like, we've just got a flat rate globally. I mean, I sent some to my daughter, Chloe, in New Zealand, and we had to pay a premium, an extra $18, but we just sucked that up. It's $29.95 US global shipping, right? Paul Rawson is here with his wife, Ilani. You stay safe, sir. Right? Oh, so this is what we're going to talk about. I said I was going to talk window cleaning, right? And here I am talking masks. Oh, but I'm going to put a kids pack together, right? I've got it all sorted. So I bought most of it yesterday, the rest of it today, and we're going to put it together. But the kids pack's going to have, Scott, it's taking 3 days at the moment. You order today, we dispatch kind of tomorrow. We actually ran out yesterday, so we're buying again today. But everything I'm doing is basically I'm not paying unless I've got my hands on it. It's touch and pay, right? Because I'm not going to get jagged, right? Yeah, you got to save. Yeah, you've already got a good deposit on this, buddy, right? The Radial weapon, right? So I'll tell you the story with what's the problem with weapon. I mean, weapon is the most amazing innovation, of all time as far as getting non-water solubles off glass. I mean, the whole thing is that right up until now, before Reach It, the most effective system we've got. This is a Radial, right, with pivot. It's just bloody beautiful, stunning, right? And you can open that with one hand and you get the negative angle, which kind of we took off Gardner. So I can't really claim that that's all sort of clever of mine. but anyway, it's compatible with Gardner. The reason we took it off Gardner is so that it could be compatible with Gardner poles, so that people who own Gardner poles can use superior brushes, right? Because their brushes are not superior. So you can see it, like two radials. These bristles get into the corners, you just roll them through the corners, yeah? So you go in there and you just roll them through the corners. They go brrr, like jiggy jig, right? That's what Peter Thomas calls it, the jiggy jiggy, right? And these are harder bristles in here, right? So they are good for like taking some things off. But if you can't agitate once or twice and get everything off the glass. Then you have a non-water soluble. All your time in the world, like water, pure water, no difference, right? And bristles are not going to get it off. Artillery fungus, bee poo, paint overspray, just crap, you know, barbecue grease or smoke or pollution, hydrocarbons. I mean, all these things, they're never going to come off with this, right? They never were. The best brush in the world you could get for things that are difficult to come off was a boar's hair brush, because the bristles get soft and they drag on the glass, and they've got, you know, agitation on the sides. These have got no agitation power on the sides. They're perfectly cylindrical, but boar's hair is natural fiber, so it's kind of got, you know, a rough surface. So you're going to drag it on the surface, and it's going to drag, but it's drag, and that's it. It can only drag. I mean, it's like 100 years old technology. So we brought out Window Weapon, where you've got 8 different scrubs. You've got green rubber, which is amazing, magic eraser, white non-scratch pad, bronze wool, steel wool, some other weird ones. Oh, cheese grater. We've got all these different ones, right? So whatever it is that you've got on the glass, you can take it off in the same action, and it's inside the brush, right? So you don't have to flip it around and have the water here and turn water on, turn water off, and scrub here and turn that. And like, the whole idea of efficiency is to combine multiple processes into one, right? Or multiple processes into less, at least. Right, so that's why I said I'm not going to make a reach around. I'm not going to make a Y piece. It's just, I've got to force myself to come up with a solution where the agitation is inside the brush, and you're back to 2 scrubs. No more than 2 scrubs, except for taking, you know, magic eraser will take off the residue from a construction clean sticker. When, you know, you take the sticker off. You can take the sticker off with cheese grater if you don't want to, if you haven't got it off. But there's always that residue in the water. When you go to cascade it, the water will go around that, and you know, in the morning with that direct sunlight, the customer's going to see that square, right? You can't see it, but they'll see it. So you can take that off with magic eraser, but that's like 10 or 14 scrubs. But you'll know it's off because the water will cascade. Right, otherwise the water will go around it, and you'll see it hydrophobic, you know, where the sticker is, right? So, but the only thing is that what we realized, we wanted to be able to get into the corners still, right? And you can't get a block into the corners and get the, you know, the full effect. It's got Hydroblade 2+, right? You'll see it here with the black. So it's bending the water 60 degrees back. It's a high flow brush. This is a 2.5 liter, you know, over quarter of a over half a gallon a minute. You need definitely over half a gallon a minute for this brush, but all radial brushes will have the same flow rate. And for the UK market, because they run 300 feet of hose and tiny little pumps, and everything's geared around, you know, the 2-jet system. So we're going to make a version for the UK which is low flow, but it won't be as good as this, right? So, but the only thing is that when you're running on a pole, right? So you're running on a pole, and when you're at the top of the window, your pole is here. And when you're at the bottom of the window, your pole is here. Top, bottom, top, bottom. So top, you're looking, here's your 90 degrees, and you're looking at this angle in here. Bottom, right? You're looking at 90 degrees, and you're looking at this angle in here. There's a range. That's the word. There's a range between there and there. So what we did was the original. What was the original one called? Bronze brush. Bronze brush was a flat surface. Radial. Bronze brush was a flat surface. Window Weapon was an arched surface to deal with that in some way, right? And Weapon Radial is a pivoting surface, right? So when you go up to the top, it'll go like that. When you come down to the bottom, it'll go like that. It's only a small range, but it will mean that your super agitation block is going to stay on the glass. Now, if you've got deep frames, you're still going to want a deep frame, and we're going to bring out a deep frame, you know, with this, I don't even know what we're going to call it yet. But I thought, like, I'm in quarantine. I've had this in my hands for 7 weeks. We've ordered all the parts. It's going into production. We might as well give you something exciting to talk about window cleaning instead of coronavirus. What do you think? Is that amazing or what? We can bend the water 60 degrees back on itself, so we can put the water into the corner when you're in the corner. What's interesting, because we're bending at 60 degrees, I'll tell you some of the science, right? We're bending at 60 degrees. So when you're coming across the top frame at 30 degrees, these jets are at 90 degrees. Now, because of gravity, they don't want to squirt the water straight up. So when the water pressure is exactly right, these jets turn off, and the majority and the equivalent amount of water comes out the bottom jets, because the water takes the path of least resistance. So when you're going across the top and you've got the flow rate right, these top jets turn off so they don't wet the frame, right? So it acts the same as a normal, like a Hydroblade 2, right? But as soon as you start turning, right, these jets open up and start turning, and they actually push that water into the corner, and they rinse where you've been in the corner when you've done your jiggy jig, and then you come down the frame with it at 10 degrees. All this water, the water doesn't go through a brush, like a constructor brush, right, or a reach it brush or a radial. The water just doesn't go through it. So you come down here and the water runs down here and flushes the frame. I mean, there's no other brush does that. If you have a square-ended brush, right, and your jets have to be inside, otherwise this thing will scratch the frames and scratch the glass, like you saw that with the Tucker, right? So then they have to shorten it, and then they have to put a plug in it, because otherwise the jets will block. So you've got to have a plug in there. So the plug takes up a period of time, right? So now you're here, and you've got your first jet starting here, your end of the brush is here, or whatever, and then when you get it on the glass, it splays. So now this is the outside of your bristles, and your first jet is here. Like, it's 1.5 inches inside. You can't rinse the edge with it. And you can't rinse the corner with it, because as soon as you rinse the corner, that water's going to squirt up on the frame and introduce dirt. So that's why you see guys with rinse bars over the top of brushes still taking them off the glass to rinse. All right? Not with a radial, not with a reacher. All the reacher brushes, you can leave them on the glass and rinse on glass. Okay? So there it is. It's beautiful, all right? Look at that. Yeah, I mean, you know me, I'm as mad as a cut snake, man. So if you got a 12-inch radial, the flow rate from a 12-inch is exactly the same as the flow rate from a 16-inch. So the only, at the moment, we're just cutting back all of our production during this crisis, because it could go for 6 months. So you'll see us just shrink all the products in the store. But the Reload Slinger is still a product, because I really believe that having a small brush and a big brush is so critical to efficiency. This brush here, right, is if it's 3 agitations to get across a piece of glass, and this brush here is 2 agitations to go across a piece of glass, 3 is 50% more than 2. So you're doing 50% more movement. Work equals force through distance. You're doing 50% more work, right? 50% more work. Work equals force through distance. That's a scientific formula. My job is to reduce the amount of force that's required to clean a window, and or the amount of distance required to clean a window, right? So why do we go to, radial weapon? Is to reduce the amount of force you need by putting a more aggressive scrub in the brush, so you've got less force required in order to remove concretions, excretions, and pollutions from glass, get them into suspension, not solution, which is an interesting distinction, right? And then have your rinse in the same action. So you agitate on the upstroke, rinse on the downstroke, right? And you work out the maths of how to get that brush across the glass, up to the center, across to the corner, down the frame, up to the center, across the corner, down the frame, take out the middle. Do that twice if you have a dirty window. Do it once if it's the equivalent of a storefront, like you're doing it quarterly or something, right? And you're on and off the glass faster than anybody else, and you're making more money for the same amount of money that the customer gets charged. I mean, that's business. And the customer doesn't have to follow you around for 4 hours while you do what is effectively a 1-hour job if you're using high-tech, revolutionary, designed window cleaning equipment. And all these brushes are designed, from my brain, your feedback, right, over the last 5 years, actually it's 7 years, because Eric Gillian's been with me for 7 years, right, thinking this thing through. And it's the only thing we do is design a brush for window cleaning. We don't make any other brushes for any other thing. We don't use this for anything else. We only made it for window cleaning, yeah? And we've got the flow rate is exactly the same. This will go into production maybe, we've ordered all the parts. We've ordered the molds for the end caps. We've got a couple of new brushes coming out, actually. So we've got some exciting ones. Yeah, we're going to turn this upside down. But I think I'll put it in the store as a pre-sale, like a pre-order product. So the first investors, they get the first ones out. I think, we're kind of at that point now. Harrison will probably kill me, but it'll take, let's say sometime before I get out of quarantine, we'll have it in store, yeah? Yes, there you are, Peter Thomas. Sitting in a bar talking about an idea. It's true, right? you founded the bronze brush, and you were the prototype. You tested bronze brush for 6 months, didn't you? I remember that now. We've actually got those videos. Yes. See? Woo! I have to send you one of these for free, brother. That's Peter Thomas down under. A very unassuming, super smart window cleaner and friend. Yeah? So, it's all about efficiency. Look, people ring me up and go, "Oh, tell me why I should get a reacher." And I go, "Dude, you can buy whatever you want. You can buy a pool cleaning brush and a pool cleaning pole and a hose and clean windows. Anything will clean a window. There's nothing about Tucker Ionics, Facelift, RHG, oh, that's Tucker, anything. Like, they're all clean windows. It's not about, oh, I can't clean window. Well, none of them can clean a window like this baby's going to clean a window, but they can. The difference, what you should be looking for, value for money, is how fast can I clean a window? Dude, you can go out there with a boar's hair brush and a squeegee and clean windows, or methylated spirits and newspaper and clean a window. Guys have been cleaning windows for 100 years. It's not so special, right? What's special is how fast. That's why we focused on faster, better, safer, right? We focus on faster, better, safer because we actually make faster, better, safer tools. Every year, people get pissed off with us that we're doing better every year, right? And other people are not. The people that are buying a new tool every year off us are loving us to bits. Like, I got an iPhone 11 Max Pro 512 gig mobile phone, right? Cost me, I don't know, the equivalent of, way over $2,000, right? But you think I'm pissed off with Apple that they didn't stay with the iPhone 10, which I didn't like, and I had an iPhone 7 before that, which I loved more than my iPhone 10. You know, you gotta understand the most expensive part of window cleaning is you and your worker, right? That's where we want to save money. Don't think about saving money on tools, right, at the expense of your labor. You got to think about spending more on tools that save money on labor. And that's my focus, right? And I know people don't like it. I know we've disrupted the industry. I love it. And then 2 or 3 years later, they think, oh, shit, Reach It's got so much momentum now, we better do something that makes it look like a Reach It. Yes, Marcus Bay, you're exactly right. So this is what we find. Bosses say to her, buy this, listen to me, hear the pitch, say, great salesman, right? I'll give it to my worker and say, here, our worker, what do you think? Come back and tell me what you think. And then it comes back to me and he says, oh, my workers don't like it. And I go, dude, did you teach them the Reach It technique? Right? Your efficiency is not in the tool, it's in the technique. So Reach It, like everything about Reach It is designed as a tool with a technique. Everything we do, we think about the technique as much as we think about the tool, right? Because if we can't make you faster, right, the tool is not the issue, right? So if you use your Tucker technique, sorry, Curtis Tucker just came on screen, but there is a Tommy Tucker technique, right? You clean the bottom of the window, you clean the top of the window, and then you clean the whole window, right? That's the Tucker technique. So if you use the Tucker technique with a radial brush, are you going to get an increase in efficiency? No, because it's your technique. Now, if you use the Reach It technique with a Tucker brush, are you going to get an increase in efficiency? No, because it won't even work, right? It won't work. You can't go across the top and down and through the corner and down the frame and up to the top and go down and through the frame and take out the middle with a Tucker brush. You can't do it. It doesn't rinse the glass, right? So you can't use the Reach It technique with a Tucker brush. And you can't, but you can use the Tucker technique with a Reach It brush. What you're looking for is efficiency, right? You want the fastest way to clean a window possible. And the next fastest way to clean a window will be a drone, right? I don't think we can do anything faster with manual cleaning than this. But the next one will be drones. Yes, your quarterly order, Scott. Fantastic. Yeah, buzz me on Messenger and then ask me to call you, right? Because I'm sitting in a quarantine isolation hotel. I haven't made my bed again, right? But I will. I've had a shower. That's a good thing. And it's a sunny day, and I'm on day 6. Yeah, I'm in. I came back on. I think. Oh, so officially, I arrived on March 24th, but I signed into the hotel 4 a.m. on March 25th. So I've got 15 days in here effectively. So I'm out maybe just in time for my birthday, April 10th. Yeah, put that in your diary. So, all right. So now you understand it, right? Radial has amazing And thanks to Eric Gillian. Eric Gillian is the mastermind who coached and guided me on this, right? This will never wear down. It'll never have slop. We've got guys who are actually working with this and squeegees at the moment to see if we can put out something like a wagtail, like a liquidator, eliminator, you know, something like that, using the same kit, right? So we're playing with that at the moment. And Eric's been incredibly instrumental in all of this. Right, and then it's got the negative angle. So if you're cleaning below your waist, then you can actually, you know, get the brush, you know, into all the different positions that everybody knows about. It's got much more teeth, so you'll see this is much bigger than the Reach It. I tried to make it small and beautiful, but big and multiple is better. So that's the Reach It Radial. The water squirts out at 60 degrees, comes across the top jets turn off. Most of the water comes out the bottom. As soon as you jiggy through the corner, those jets turn on, flush the corner, come down the edge, turn the brush towards the edge so that the water's flushing. It doesn't go through the brush. All the water comes across here and rushes down and flushes the frame, because that's where that rubberization is creeping into the window. Even if you've got a hydrophilic glass, a glass that cascades, you'll usually find that the 2 inches on the outer sides are still hydrophobic, quite often, if it's a mature piece of glass. And so that's where you've still got to go and rinse. That's even worse in a lot of ways, because you've got to rinse, you know, down one side and then rinse down the other side if you're doing off-glass rinsing. There's no off-glass rinsing with Reach It. Hasn't been for years, right? A Reach It brush turns hydrophobic glass to behave hydrophilic. The way it does it is this top bristle blade. That's why you'll see all of our brushes have got a top bristle blade. The water doesn't go through this bristle blade. The water sits on top of this bristle blade. The jets are not doing the rinse, right? We're not trying to rinse with the jets. We just want water sitting on top of this bristle blade when it's on the glass, right? We've got loads of videos at youtube.com/future of cleaning, right? So it's breaking the surface tension, the water's sitting on top of that, inheriting the broken surface tension, and the water cascades down all glass, whether it's super hydrophobic, hydrophilic, whatever, it always cascades. And that's why it's a single action clean. Agitate on the upstroke, rinse on the downstroke, done, out, off. Right, off to the next one. And what I say to everybody who's a new customer, I love people who are new customers who have never done window cleaning with water fed before, because they don't have any of these bad habits doing the Tucker technique or their technique, or 4 times or 8 times agitation. I never say that. but it fascinates me watching guys like talking efficiency and one-man bands who have become authorities of window cleaning, and because they get $1,000 check from a supplier and they become an authority of window cleaning on YouTube, and you look at their technique and it's so inefficient. It's so slow. They're $75 an hour window cleaners telling everybody how to clean windows. Meantime, I've got customers like John Mickelson from Texas. He wrote into a live chat the other day and he was earning $450 an hour on the glass using a Reach It, you know? Anyway, I get passionate about this, don't I? How's that? I told you I was going to talk about something different. Window cleaning. Gene O'Neill's here. All right, buddy, if you haven't seen this is the new brush which is in production now. This is called Radial Weapon. So the idea is, the problem with Weapon's got a curved front, right? So we deal with it that way, but this is even better. Well, if this is your pole, right? You go to the top of the window, you're like this. You go to the bottom of the window, you're like this. Top, right? And what you're looking at is this. Here's your 90 degrees. That stays a constant, yeah? And we're looking at this angle in here. When you're at the top there, and when you're at the... Hang on. When you're at the bottom there. You know what I mean? The pole goes through this range. So you end up with this radius, and then this radius here, and it's bigger. So in order... I'm over COVID right now. Oh my God, you've watched too much of that stuff, and you're really going crazy, you know? And then there's all the conspiracy. Then there's the blame China. Then there's China didn't give any information, but they gave the genome out on January the 21st when the thing was discovered on December the first case was December the 8th, identified December the 20-something. You know, 1 month late, less than a month after it's actually identified as a virus, the genome is out. CDC's got it, Germany's got it, Japan's got it, Korea's got it. If you go to if you Google Wikipedia, COVID-19 test, it's fascinating read as far as like what actually happened. Anyway, so here we are as window cleaners, right? And we've got, so this here, obviously you've got to set the angle right here, but this here has a 20 degree movement, so that when you go to the top it'll be there, and then as you come to the bottom it'll be there. As you go to the top it'll be there, as you come to the bottom it'll be there. So this is going to make sure that the maximum amount of pounds per square inch are applied exactly and consistently for you to use your force through distance, right? Work is force through distance, right? No, this is amazing for corners. This is incredible. I mean, this is the holy grail. Like, you know, we've been working on this with Todd Thurman, Eric Gillian, Larry Crook is the original guy who bent some bristles around, right, from Connecticut. You know, we brought Eric in real quick on that, because Eric's been with me for my whole career, you know, as a confidant and a coach. And so, you know, but now you just jiggy it through the corners, and these go brrr, brrr, through the corner. They just pull, and we've got guys who have been using DIY versions of this for 18 months, right? 18 months it's the dirt dauber. I've got the dirt dauber. I've already sold some, but we had to do them in plastic. We got some in wood, but I've got some in plastic, and I think they may be in the store. But basically, I used to make outriggers, right, for center console fishing boats, and at the top of the outrigger we put a plastic point. So I've still got, I don't know, 1,000 of them sitting in my warehouse. And when we made the wooden ones, but then we go, sheesh, like, we need a quarantine certificate, which means we need to fumigate them, and that's all right if you're doing a container, but you know, you got to pay $500 to fumigate like 100 pieces. Byron's here. I'm just showing them Radial weapon because it's in production now, and I thought, whatever, I'm going to show it. Good on you, buddy. Yeah, so I've got plastic ones. So I don't know, I'll do 3 for $20, and that way you can whittle them down if you want to. Because I think I was talking to Nick Evans in New Zealand, and he came up with a great idea, right? So I'm losing people. You can only listen to me for so long, right? Well, I just thought if you're in lockdown, I mean, at least I'm interesting and enthusiastic and passionate, right? But what I think, if you had 3 of them, what Nick Evans did, he got a piece of bamboo and he whittled it down so it had some flex in it. So I thought, well, if I send you 3 of these tips, you could just whittle them and see if you can get the plastic to have a little bit of a flick in it, because he said then he can just flick things out of the corners. I don't know if that'll work with a dirt dauber, but I'll put, I don't know, 3 for $20, something like that, and we'll just get them out and see what you guys can do with them. Yeah, that took me forever. Sorry about that, Patrick. I should have buzzed you, right? You should have buzzed me. Anyway, I could have buzzed you. I want to put a jet in to pump a degrease out the top. I could do that. That wouldn't be hard at all. We would run... Can we use it straight? We don't need an angle adapter, do we? We just the pole is coming straight up, and we could put it straight on top of the pole. So then we could run we could put a push fit in the bottom of it, run high flow or a rhino tube or something up the center of the pole, straight in, chop the... think of a flute, right? Think of a flute, and you've got the little cutaway, or a recorder, right? You have that little cutaway. So you'd cut away and have the water coming out the side, because you don't want to compromise the integrity. You don't want to compromise the integrity of the point. You need that to dig away, right? But if we have the water coming out here, yeah, then you just, and then you have some sort of kink or something. So it'd be better if it was like, you don't want to be buying, I mean, I was thinking about 6mm, 1/4 inch tube, but you don't want to be buying any other tube just to make this happen. I think it'd be better to use rhino tube, like, what's that, 5/16? And most people have got that from the past. So if we did that with a 5/16 and then just kink it, or the other one is you have a little pump up, garden Duvalaki, chemical spray, and then have a trigger switch on that. Hey, Jason, have you got any of those, the plastic points? Did we send some to you for the outriggers? And they just sort of look like an upside down elongated, an up the right way elongated teardrop kind of thing. They're very pointy, like this shape here, like the top of a mosque or something. I don't know. All right, the degreaser washes off perfect at the point as agitation. I mean, we can go step by step, right? How about I send you Are you going to order any of these mask packs or anything in the next couple of days? Yeah, for the dub dobbers, mud dobbers. You see me touch my face? See, that's just, we touch our face 23 times a day. It's no wonder this thing spreads. It's just horrific. I'm sitting in quarantine saying it doesn't matter, but it does matter because I'm making habits for myself. I got to break the habits while I'm in quarantine. Whew, I have them all. Okay, well, can you put just put 20 on a transfer order for me. And we're at 20 to you, and then if you are happy, Patrick, 5 for 20, and then yeah, just do that, and we'll just do 5 for 20 for Patrick, and then see if Doug and Andy want to get involved. Like anybody else, I don't know if you got dirt. What are they called? Mud dobbers. For the people who've got mud dobbers, we can make a little team together, like a little project development team. Yeah, and see if we can make that happen. Good. All right. Audience dropping. Interest in mud dobbers. Okay. All right. Well, that's I don't even know what the time is, but it probably means that it's time to get off. All right. I will have a look at your wireless plug and play with handle any chemical add-on without compromising your pure water. Yeah, I mean, it's a separate line, right? So anyway, we're not doing a lot of development this year. Like we're basically in consolidate. Like you'll see our product range will drop off like crazy if this gets out of control. Like already it's through to the end of April, but the UK is talking about 6 months. Right, so it may be that the UK is kind of telling more earlier than the US. All right, now it tells me how long I've been talking. That looks like the end of my recording because my low connection network is not coming back and it's gone into recording mode and it has not come back online. Okay, so I'm going to finish. Okay.